Welcome to Sell Like You, the ultimate sales podcast that will teach you how to make sales your superpower, transform your mindset, and in doing so, explode your sales beyond your wildest dreams. I'm Harriet Mellor, and over the last 17 years, I've helped hundreds of top companies around the world, including my own, make more money and qualify more leads using simple strategies that work. In this podcast, you'll learn how I generated over 10 million in annual sales, along with the sales techniques, processes, and tools that will work for you to generate more dream-aligned clients and scale your business beyond what you thought was possible. If you're sick of the boring, outdated, and pushy sales tactics of the past, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
I'm really excited to be bringing you the Tech Sales Series, where we have got some incredible people on the podcast to talk about what makes an incredible tech salesperson. Now, I have used my network, I've used people outside of my network to bring together experiences and examples so that you can see for yourself, whether it's for you as a business owner, whether it's for you as a sales leader, or whether you are thinking about getting into the sales game or want to elevate your sales game, then this series is for you. Now, we ran last year the Women in Tech Sales series, and we got so much feedback, which was so awesome to see. And we thought we'd run it again, but we really wanted the focus to be more so on different approaches and looking at what makes a top salesperson across the board, so male or female. And we found some really common areas in the fact that we know that a thirst for knowledge is really key. And in this scenario, this is where I share a lot about outside of work learning, so personal and professional development. And this came to me from when I was working in sales back in the UK. And I remember the question being asked in the sales team, predominantly men, and they said, who here plays football? Again, we're in England, so football. Who here plays football? And 80% of the guys put their hands up. And he said, right, how when do you guys play? And they were Saturday or Sunday. Okay, and how many times do you train a week? Twice. Okay, awesome. How much do you get paid to play football? And they're all like nothing. And so the realization, I guess, really where I'm going with that was that the question was asked because they emphasize the importance on training before they go in and deliver their game. They understand that it's important for their fitness. It's important for them to work together. It's important to try things out before we get to game day. Now, when we relate that back to sales, is that we need to practice. We need to try new things outside of the phone or the email or on live prospects. And so by spending time learning from others or thinking about how that experience can be plugged into examples that you already have, will give the ability to learn. But not only that, we've also got the learning outside of our sales technique. So outside of that, beyond that will be what industry you're in, what products or services you're selling, how other people are positioning it. And for me, when I started in tech and really started taking my tech sales career seriously, because in the beginning I fell into it, I've told this story 100 times, but I fell into tech sales. I was an events organizer, went to work for a tech company running internal, fun Google-esque events. And I fell into the sales role, and I was given, somebody saw something in me that I hadn't, or that I wasn't quite ready to unlock, and I gave it a go and never looked back. But for me, when I was learning that and really decided that I wanted to take this to the next level, was that I would spend time in the evenings on YouTube. I'd spend time listening to podcasts. I would read books, all in my own time. And something that I've seen today is there's so much emphasis on that work-life balance, which is so important. It's important to understand the balance. It's important to have boundaries. It's important to have downtime. But if you're really passionate and want to go to that next level, then you do need to do more than just Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. You need to do more in terms of your learning, your understanding. And there's so many resources to do that. And the Sell Like You podcast is certainly one of them, I hope. So thirst for knowledge is really key. Wanting to learn, wanting to sponge everything up. Being able to articulate and ask questions, being able to have a voice and really bring that through is also really key. Curiosity, we talk about in a couple of these episodes as well. And curiosity comes down to qualification, but it comes down to being genuinely curious about the people you're connecting with. And often we jump, if I look at sales processes and whenever I'm doing an audit or a review, we see that they jump straight into conversations about what they need, what they want, what they've tried before we've really got to understand the person we're speaking to. And so if we can sell one product or one service and we're looking straight down the line for that, then we're going to find ourselves hitting a dead end or a brick wall at the end, because we don't have much other, we don't have any other direction really to go in. Whereas when we start off from that level of curiosity, we start to find out more about the people we're engaging with. We start to understand beyond their need or requirement in this real siloed approach. And we look at their business needs. We look at what they've tried before. We look at them as a person. And, people buy from people. I don't need to tell you that. But and I'm really excited to share all of these and so much more in the episodes that we are going to be publishing over the next 2 weeks. So if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you are checking out, and go and follow the people that we interview. Go and engage with them, go on LinkedIn, find them, connect with them, tell them you found them on their podcast. Most people that I interviewed have never been on a podcast before, and that's the beauty of our networks. If we think about people that I want to hear from, they're not famous. They might be known by people in the industry, but they're not necessarily somebody that anybody outside of my network or my industry knowledge would know. So get the exposure. You won't hear them anywhere else. There won't be any boring stories. They are all about 20, 30 minutes long. And they all give a different perspective, different locations, different businesses, different positions within the business as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know what you think. You can find me also on LinkedIn, or you can find us over on theyoursalesco.com. And we've also got the YouTube channel, which is flying at the moment. We are getting some great insights, great feedback, great traction over there on that platform. So if you haven't already, just search Your Sales Co in the YouTube platform and you will see us there. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for being here. And I hope you enjoy the series.
Thank you for tuning into the Sell Like You podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and be sure to subscribe to never miss another one. A huge thank you to Vitality House for hosting today's recording, and I look forward to being back into your ears soon.